What's going on, bros? In this video I want to talk about an exercise that I know a lot of us are doing, but it's sort of not the best for building muscle. In fact, I think it's one of the most overrated exercises in the entire gym. And that is the regular deadlift. I mean the sumo deadlift or the conventional deadlift. Any other variation to me is pretty useful. The ones I'm mainly talking about is the Romanian deadlift or the stiff-legged deadlift, which are almost the same thing. Those two are very useful exercises for putting on muscle, but the sumo deadlift and the conventional deadlift, not so much. They're not bad. If they're in your program and you're making good use of them and you truly enjoy this exercise, by all means, keep it in your program. I'm not here to tell you what's best for you and what's not best for you. You know that better yourself. If you're still making gains by doing sumo deadlifts or conventional deadlifts, I'm talking muscle gains, keep it in your program. It's all good. Don't even worry about what I'm saying in this video. Also, I'm saying it's not the best for putting on mass and building muscle. I'm not saying it's bad for strength. In fact, it's the best exercise for strength because it works almost every muscle in your body, which will translate over to your other compounds. So if you're into powerlifting or strongman, deadlifts are absolutely sublime. But for the people who are after aesthetics and bodybuilding, it's a waste of time. Remember, this video is based on my own experience. If you have other experience, it's completely fine. Just hopefully you have an open mind for this video and hopefully you can watch through to the end. Let's get into the biggest reason right off the bat for why deadlifts are not optimal. I hate using that word because it gets thrown around so much nowadays, but it truly isn't the best muscle building exercise. And the number one reason is the recovery demand that it puts on your body. You may have experienced this. You go and you do some deadlifts and then the rest of your workout is completely half-assed because you're so dead from the deadlifts. Especially when you're doing like RP 8, 9 deadlifts, even going to failure on deadlifts. Bro, if you go to failure on deadlifts, your entire workout is completely done. You come home, you can't study, you can't do work, you're completely finished. In order to actually recover from a deadlift session, your body requires a lot of energy and rest. You need to eat a lot, you need to sleep a lot, and it still takes a long time to recover from a deadlift compared to an alternative back exercise like the lat pull down, which I absolutely love. It puts a lot of demand on your nervous system, so you're going to need deload weeks more frequently, especially if you're training really hard, and you're going to need to tone it down a little bit with the training days and incorporate more rest days into your routine. You're probably going to need to sleep more, you're going to be more tired throughout the day. It may not be as exaggerated as I'm making it with these explanations, but there is to some degree a recovery aspect that comes with deadlifts that does not come with other exercises. Squats are pretty close, but squats you can do in a way where it doesn't really kill the rest of your workout. Deadlifts just kill the rest of your workout. Plus, squats are incredibly good for building legs. It's not like deadlift provides an incredible muscle stimulus for an area of your body whilst making you tired. That's kind of what squats do. Deadlifts are like an all-around body exercise, and if you're into bodybuilding and aesthetics, it's not good because when you're into that kind of stuff, you're looking for symmetry and bringing up weak body parts. The deadlift is without a doubt suboptimal when it comes to achieving those goals of aesthetics and bodybuilding. Most people do their deadlifts on their back workout or their leg workout. If you're doing deadlifts on a leg workout, even if it's sumo, just stop doing them because it's a complete waste of time. There are much better exercises for you to do. The squat, the hack squat, those two should be like your two primary movements on a leg day. They work pretty much every part of your leg and you get an insane pump. I don't know why you wouldn't do them and why you would choose something like the deadlift instead of it. Unless, of course, it works well for you, then do what you will. But if it's something that's impeding the rest of your back workout, if it's making you weaker on lat pull downs, if it's making you weaker on barbell rows, why are you doing this exercise? Especially if your goal is bodybuilding and aesthetics. That's just a personal thing. In fact, for a lot of my upbringing in the gym, I did deadlifts. I've been doing deadlifts for a very long time. In fact, I only stopped like 2 to 3 months ago. I was on the road to 500 pounds. I basically hit it, kind of failed, but almost hit it, and just completely stopped deadlifting since then. It's not been a goal for me. It's not been something I was trying to bring up, and I'm not that interested in powerlifting as I once was in the past. My main goal now is bodybuilding and just building my body through discipline and hard work. So to be honest, I couldn't really care less for how much my deadlift was. But if you're interested, I think I could probably sumo deadlift over 500 pounds. Let's talk about the pump, because the pump basically entails whether or not you build muscle in that specific workout to the maximum extent. Obviously, you cannot get a pump and still build muscle. Obviously, when you go to the gym and create a muscular stimulus, you're going to build some degree of muscle. But to build an optimum amount of muscle, you need a pump. That's why bodybuilders always chase the pump. They always chase the contraction because that is what's going to get you bigger. Getting a better contraction, getting better blood flow to the muscle, more nutrients, more oxygen to the muscle, allows it to work to its maximum potential, therefore creating the maximum stimulus, therefore giving you the maximum gains. Basically, in bro science terms, just get a pump, get a good contraction, you're gonna build more muscle that way. The deadlift does not do that. The deadlift, in fact, does the opposite of that. It gives you the opposite of a pump. The only place you might get a pump with the deadlift is your lower back. That's it. When have you gotten a quad pump from conventional or sumo deadlifting? Personally, I never have. Again, if you have, that's cool. You can do deadlifts, whatever. But for me, and a lot of people, you don't feel deadlifts. You do deadlifts because they're fun. They're kind of an ego booster, and you just like lifting heavy weights. It's that simple. Who's doing deadlifts for sets of 10? Compare it to something like an RDL, which targets your glutes, your hamstrings, your lower back, and even your upper back, which basically summarizes your entire posterior chain. That means if you cut your body in half in this direction from the side, you are quite literally targeting half of your body. Everything on your back gets targeted when you do a Romanian deadlift. And obviously it does get targeted as well when you're deadlifting. But the difference is with the Romanian deadlift, you get a pump in pretty much all of those areas, if not at least a few of them. If you're doing proper Romanian deadlifts, you're going to get a hamstring pump. You're going to feel it in your glutes, especially when you come up for the extension. You're definitely going to feel it in your lower back. And at some point, you're going to feel it in your upper back and traps. It is such a good exercise, and it is much better than something like a conventional or a sumo deadlift. Also, it's really hard to get in reps when you're doing deadlifts, and reps are the primary way you get a contraction in a pump, at least for most people. Even though sometimes I've actually noticed that lower reps give me a pump on certain exercises like squats, though that's probably because of the lack of oxygen and the buildup of lactic acid in my legs. The rate at which the lactic acid builds up in my legs because squats are such a demanding exercise. But I don't feel the same for deadlifts. In fact, by the time I get to like my 5th rep for deadlifts, I'm pretty much done. And going past that point kind of impedes my recovery. So it's very difficult to determine the optimal rep range for building muscle on deadlifts, which is why I just say use squats instead for your lower body and use RDLs to build your posterior chain. Pretty simple. You know that pump you get when you do lat pull downs and rows? You don't get that when you're deadlifting. There are much better ways to build your back and your posterior chain. If you want me to make a full video on how to build your back, how to build your legs, I'd be happy to do that because that's what I do on this channel. I provide you with value through my own experiences. I hope this video made some sense to you. If you disagree with me, I'd love to know why in the comments below. And I hope you did learn something in this video today. Remember, I'm with you on this journey. Go out there, reject mediocrity, and embrace mastery. I'll see you.